Number 39, Deputy Niamh Smyth, is 30 seconds.
To ask the Minister for Culture, Heritage and Gaeltacht her plans to increase the participation of women in projects funded by the Irish Film Board, and if you will make a statement on the matter, Minister. The question follows on from some points that I raised when the House first debated the Irish Film Board Act last year, and at that time I did raise the increased level of participation in projects funded by the Irish Film Board. However, these increases appear to be uneven. Minister, can you outline the actions you have taken to address the female participation in Irish film?
Minister's response.
Thank you, Deputy. The Irish Film Board was renamed Screen Ireland in 2018, and Screen Ireland, as you know, is the national development agency for Irish filmmaking and the Irish film, television and animation industry. Its statutory remit is to assist and encourage the making of film in the state and the development of a film industry in Ireland. And Screen Ireland supports writers, directors, production companies across these sectors by providing investment loans for the development, production and distribution of film and television. And it's at the forefront, Screen Ireland is, of the movement towards gender equality, and has demonstrated its commitment to addressing gender equality in Irish filmmaking and screen content, and in particular in the roles of writers and directors. Screen Ireland is working towards achieving a target of 50-50 creative talent working in screen content by 2020. And already it has reported a significant increase of 62% in applications received with female talent attached, and an 82% increase in funding awards with female talent attached in 2018 in relation to the 2017 figures. And Screen Ireland's vision for gender and diversity is set out in their 5-year strategy and the 6-point plan on gender equality, which outlines a number of measures to monitor and enhance gender representation across the sector. And considerable progress has been made in terms of encouraging female writers, directors and producers into the sector through training initiatives and through the Screen Ireland short film schemes. And the commitment of Screen Ireland to gender equality has been acknowledged nationally and internationally, and 70% of Screen Ireland short films funded under the Screen Ireland short stories and framework schemes in 2017 have female directors attached. Thank you.
Deputy Smyth.
Thank you. There has been a particularly high number of female protagonists and producers in Irish film in recent years. In 2017, 7 out of 10 Irish films had female protagonists. This is something of which, of course, we can be proud of. The monitoring that VideoParliament has undertaken is of great value, and of course, Screen Ireland have played a pivotal part in all of that. However, I note that the number of female directors has stayed relatively stagnant at over 20%. Further effort, I think, is needed on the Minister and the Government's part to address this issue. So, Minister, what specific measures are being introduced in order to increase female participation in the direction of Irish film?
Minister, 1 minute.
Yeah, and I appreciate your acknowledgement of that 7 out of 10 Irish films had a female protagonist, something of which we are justly proud. But you're right, we can't rest on our laurels, and I will support the work of Screen Ireland to proactively seek to increase the number of female directors in particular. And in the last year, we've seen such female-led Irish films come into the fore, including The Breadwinner, we had Float Like a Butterfly, Kissing Candace, A Girl from Mogadishu, A Mother Brings Her Son to be Shot, many excellent films with high female protagonists. In terms of specific initiatives, I know that Screen Ireland has the 6-point action plan, and they are working to achieve enhanced levels of diversity in films and screen content. And they have a number of different initiatives, specific gender-focused funding initiatives, in order to develop this. And they are aimed at addressing the underrepresentation of women in Irish film. Considerable progress has been made through these initiatives, and there are many incentives there that are specifically targeted towards incentivising female writers, directors and producers, and in order to directly increase female representation.
Deputy Smyth.
Thank you, Minister. With regard to achieving gender parity in the industry by 2020, do you believe that we are on track to meet that target? Can you provide a detailed update on the action points contained within the 2016-2020 strategic plan? And do you believe that there's adequate funding in achieving this goal? You've mentioned on a number of occasions that six-point plan by Screen Ireland, but of course funding needs to be behind that to actually make actions speak louder than words. So if you could just give us some insight in terms of is it adequately funded to actually meet those targets?
Adequate funding, and some of the progress that's been made since 2016, there has been a significant change in the development statistics. In 2016, for example, only 34% of successful project development applications had female writers, and this figure has grown by 10%, with 44% of the successful 2018 applications have a female writer attached. And in documentary development, successful female directors were at 8% in 2016, and this number has grown to 48% in 2018, which shows an increase in successful female directors by 40%. And animation development has also seen an increase in successful female writers of 31% from 2016 to 2018. So I think they can clearly demonstrate to you the increase in percentage of female representation in this industry. You're right to say that we need to continue to do that. There are a number of funding initiatives. One of them is POV, which is Point of View, which is a funding and training scheme aimed exclusively at female talent. There's also low budget film production and training scheme for female talent. There is enhanced production funding for female initiative and driven feature films, and this increased support of up to 100,000 for projects applying for Irish production funding if the feature film is led by an Irish female or director or a writer-director combination. And also gender parity will continue to be monitored across all schemes.